Welcome to the Landscaping Podcast. My name is Joel Barnett and I'm your host. And in today's episode, I'm talking with Amy Drought from Greencare Project based in Brisbane. And Amy's a horticulturist there, been there a bit over 6 months and hasn't been in the industry for decades, but has certainly got an insane amount of passion for it, which started with her dad in working in permaculture garden at their property, which I loved. And she's got a certificate in horticulture and also plans on doing one in parks and gardens and also landscape and garden design. And is even writing a permaculture book for kids and writing and illustrating it as well. So yeah, the passion for the industry bounces off the screen when I was chatting to Amy. So it was really enjoyable chat to have with her. And around the 20-minute mark, she mentions the nursery that she's just started working at as well. And you won't find a better name of a nursery. It's one of the greats. So it's well worth listening to the podcast just to hear the name of the nursery. But also, it is a great episode to hear the passion that Amy has. But I really enjoyed chatting to her. And it's great to talk to someone young in the industry so that you can follow along their career and see what she gets up to. And another thing that she's done is she won a Global Footprint Scholarship Award, so she'll be heading off overseas like a couple of past guests have. So I think we've had two or three of the previous scholarship winners on, so it'll be exciting to see what she gets up to over there. But hopefully you enjoy this chat with Amy Drought. Amy, thank you for joining us on the Landscaping Podcast. My first question for you is how did you start in the industry?
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Joel. So I kind of started with vertical garden maintenance. So I did that for a year, but before that I had a permaculture garden with my dad, so that's in the back on a half-acre property, and would watch YouTube and things like that and kind of learn as we went. And then yeah, I studied online with ACS Distance Education, which John Mason runs. He's the principal. And yeah, started studying throughout the time I was doing my vertical garden maintenance. And then I moved over to Greencare Project.
Ah, so how was it doing vertical garden maintenance? Was it like is there because what I know of vertical gardens, they're high maintenance.
Oh yeah, it's plants on life support, I heard someone say.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
fair bit.
Yeah, I mean, it was very therapeutic actually doing the maintenance, but I kind of hit a ceiling of what I could learn because there was a very small palette of
Yeah.
plants. But yeah, I really liked it. I mean, I could have done my abseiling course, but you have to maintain a certain amount of hours per year, and I don't like heights
No,
so much. Like when I'm on a ladder, it's fine, but on a rope, maybe not.
yeah, I'm not a fan of them either. Like we
Yeah,
we just did a clad a chimney in stone, so I was up on a scaffold. There's no,
yeah.
I was only standing like 2 meters above the ground, but still, it's a long way for me to fall.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you have any jobs where you had to go up on scaffolding?
No, we didn't actually. But yeah, one of the jobs was at UQ Global Change Building. It's like a three-tier one and it has a pond at the bottom. And
Yeah,
that's
awesome.
once a year abseiling. And it kind of air conditions the whole space. It's quite a large space. And they have the like translucent ceiling, so it lets all the natural light in. Yeah, it's
Cool.
good.
Yeah, it sounds pretty exciting. Like, did they get to use different plants in that one than what you were sort of normally used to?
No, still like the same kind of palette, like Nephrolepsis, Peperomias. Sometimes we use like Xanadus occasionally,
Yeah,
and we had a project outside of Suncorp Stadium too, which used the cherry picker for. So
yeah.
yeah,
So how long were you doing that for?
a year. So I was subcontracting. Usually I did like 3 or 4 days a week,
Yeah,
but they were pretty full on days. Sometimes I worked 10 hours. So
yeah, right. And did you ever
yeah,
do any like repotting up of the plants?
a little bit, yeah. But mostly, like, I was doing the maintenance runs by myself, and then I ended up training someone towards the end. It was
Did they teach
cool.
you much about like the ideal potting mix and everything for them? Like do they
Uh,
just use normal stuff?
yeah, so we used John Daly's mix. Have you heard of what
The only
John
John
Daly
Daly I
does?
know is a golfer.
Oh, okay. Well, he does a lot of research into his mixes and makes them really good.
Uh,
And they're light for the
yep.
vertical gardens, which is essential. And they don't really break down as much as soil would, and so it doesn't sink. Because obviously that's a lot of work to replace the soil in the vertical gardens. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Was there any um fertilization involved in it, like a liquid fertilizer or anything like that?
yeah, fertigation essentially.
Yeah,
So
right.
you'd check it kind of every time you went, and you would mix it up sometimes. But yeah, the plants look pretty healthy and happy. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
good.
because that's one of the things I'd wonder about is the longevity of it because they're once they've got all the nutrients in the soil, once they use it all up, then it's all gone and they're not getting it from anywhere else.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So how old were you when you started helping out your dad with the permaculture garden?
I was in grade 8, so how was I like? I'd have been 13, 14.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, yeah. So it's still out there. I actually ran like a little permaculture tour. So I'm part of like the community gardens at Lota. And yeah, I took them out there and had a cup of tea after, and they brought their all homemade goodies and everything. So it was really lovely.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what's in there at the moment? Like what's involved in there?
We do have a few prunus species, which is they get diseased a lot,
Ah,
of course. So yeah. But we have a banana circle around the fire pit as well. We have blueberries, which are struggling, but we have borage and like comfrey and all that, and tomatoes growing everywhere. And it kind of ebbs and flows how much work we put in, which is fine. So, and permaculture is kind of a messy aesthetic.
yeah.
So we kind of let things grow a little bit wild. Like eucalyptus just kind of started growing after we flood every year. So it came after the floods. It grew way too big and then I cut it and I just let the shoots grow and that attracts insects and things, which is good
Yeah.
for that biodiversity. So yeah.
Yeah, I had some eucalyptus growing out the front of my house, like they were, because I've got heaps all around me, so they were just
Yeah.
self-seeded. And part of me wants to let them grow, but then part of me also know, like, I don't think they're as strong if they're grown from seed. But
Yeah.
I assume that's probably that they are anyway. But yeah, it's a bit of a worry. But
Yeah.
they're probably
Yeah.
not ideal growing like in the crevice between like where the nature strip meets the footpath. It's probably not
No,
a great spot for them there.
no. Yeah. It was
So
actually in our permaculture garden, but it was next to the granny flat, so kind of
yeah,
not the best.
yeah, and also last summer I had tomatoes popping up everywhere because like the year
Mm.
before I had them, and then I don't know how they spread everywhere that they did, but they spread all over the place. So it was actually awesome because I was
Yeah.
going wherever they wanted to. But, yeah, it worked out well. So I had cherry tomatoes for months.
Perfect.
So so you went from the vertical gardens and
hmm
then you started that Greencare project. So how did that move happen? Were you looking for a while?
It was actually Jorge that recommended me because I went to the AIH conference in Coffs Harbour. He saw me there, we introduced ourselves, and then I wrote an article later, like probably 3 months later, and Jorge messaged me after that saying, "Oh, are you looking for work?" and blah blah blah. So yeah, it was great, and I went for an interview, and I just because I was kind of looking for a change anyway, because I
Yeah.
wanted to, learn more and everything. Yeah, so it was the natural kind of progression.
And what was the article in that you wrote?
It was about a permaculture place, Jengbong Gardens. So it's run by Robin Francis. I was there for 2 weeks just volunteering and got to stay in an old little caravan there. So it's based in Nimbin, which is, I know people have their opinions about Nimbin, but I really liked it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
permaculture would go well there from what I know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I got a few experiences there, so.
So, and what was that published in, like that article?
Yeah, so the AIH Hort Insights magazine, it's kind of
Yeah,
like on a seasonal basis. Yeah,
yeah,
it's
right.
pretty good.
Yeah, cool. So, and then did they get you on your first job there when you started there? Did they have a vertical garden for you to maintain?
They have a lot of podiums, which I guess is the
What are
step
they?
below a vertical garden. So it's kind of like you'll have a balcony or something
Oh,
and
yeah,
like the railing and then your plants will be on the other side. So you'll use a ladder or yeah, just to reach them. So
yeah,
it's like more of the cascading garden beds.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, cool. And then, so was it straight into the maintenance side of things there?
Yes, yeah, just as a crew member, but I do see myself being team leader eventually, but obviously I'm not quite ready for that. I need to develop my leadership skills and a bit more confidence before I do that.
And how was the
Yeah.
course that you did with ACS? So that was online. So how long was
Yeah.
it for?
So you have access to the course for 3 years, but obviously if you ask for more, they will give it to you for free. So I took maybe 2 years to complete it
Yep.
because I also had two other jobs that I did very casually, doing like lawn mowing and whippersnipping, which I actually got. I was roller skating at a park one time. I saw this guy, mowing the lawns, and I just had a chat with him, and then we exchanged phone numbers, and I worked with him for like 6 months.
All right.
So yeah, I don't know, it was pretty cool.
Were you whippersnipping while you were rollerblading?
I wasn't that advanced yet. One day.
Maybe you stayed for longer than 6 months, probably would have got there.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So how was the course? Like, did you after finishing it, have you thought that you needed to increase your learning, or is it just sort of on the job stuff is that's going to happen anyway?
Yeah, well, I was actually working hospitality, and then like halfway through my cert three, my cert one, I got a job, and so I was working my way through that at the time. So I was kind of getting both the theory and the practical at the same time,
Yeah.
plus the garden at home. So it kind of just fed into itself. And but yeah, I will continue further education. So I'm getting a parks and garden cert three. I'm going to start that in maybe a month or so. And then I'm doing like a landscape and garden design one as well. So that's online with ACS as well.
All
Yeah.
right. So what is that you learn in parks and gardens that you don't in horticulture?
Well, I want to end up maybe being like a parks and gardens manager. So that's obviously maybe 15, 20 years down the track when
Yeah.
my knees are broken and I need to work in an office. Yeah, so I think it's more broad. Like I wasn't initially interested in turf, for example, but I think I'll learn a bit more about that there. Maybe a bit of like playground design and a bit more of like the psychology potentially of a space.
Yep.
And, because it's more like leisure and people riding their bikes, so like pathways you have to think about. It's just a bigger space.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
understanding is that's similar to what the difference is between like landscape design and landscape architecture. The landscape architecture, they sort of learn more about how people use a space
Yeah.
rather than just
Yeah.
making it look good.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, you can add a little community garden in and like the therapeutic side and, like wheelchair access. That's something you don't usually think about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And how long have you been at Greencare Project for now?
I had my 6 month review, I think 2 days ago.
All right.
Yeah,
You
so that
still
was
got a
pretty
job?
good. Yeah, I think I'm doing a good
Oh,
job.
good. No, that's good. And how many people are there? Like, what's the team like?
So when I got there, it was kind of they were rapidly increasing the amount of employees there. So I think there's like between 50 or 60, and
All right.
that's horticulture maintenance, which is quite a small team. You have the construction and the landscape designers and the architects. So I think we have four horticultural crew members.
Yep.
Sorry, two team leaders and two crew members at the moment, but we're gonna expand that just a little bit more.
Yep.
And it's always hard finding the right passionate people, and we're trying to move to more like ecologically focused like work ethics and things like that. And like true care for the plants. So we use a lot of Japanese tools.
All right.
Like instead of like we've gone away from hedge trimming and like all the electrical gear. And like we use blowers and stuff like that, obviously. But like the Japanese shears, I have Japanese secateurs. I think the whole team does. And there was a budget where we got all the camellia oils and all the proper like Japanese tool maintenance gear. So yeah, it's good.
Yeah, awesome. So when you're doing hedging, so you're using the shears for hedging, are you?
Yeah,
All
so it'll
right.
be interesting in summer when everything kind of goes a bit crazier. But like we would use it very sparingly. I haven't touched it like a hedge trimmer since there was an old team which were very into that and more chemical based. But our new team is just a bit more eco minded. Yeah, and it's a nicer experience and you get to connect to the plants more when you like
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's more personal touch. It's like yeah, when you see people like pruning topiary, they'll
Mm.
do it. They'll have the shears out, and then they'll also get the secateurs just for those little finer touches.
Yeah, yeah, there's more of an art to it, and yeah,
Yeah,
I think it's better.
and you can do well. It's slower to do damage as well if you're using shears rather than a machine that's just going nuts.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, it's all clean cuts. It looks fantastic. Yeah.
So, are you working in two teams of two, or does it depend on the project? Have you got some where you're going all onto it?
So I was working with Jorge under him, and then we kind of moved around a bit while there was three of us, and then now I'm working with Maria, like kind of permanently. And sometimes we'll have projects where we need all of us, but that's a bit rarer. So, like I chat to them of a morning, like the rest of the team, and yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, cool. And do you only look after the projects that have been designed and built by a company?
Yeah, like I think like 90% of them are just from what Greencare has built, which is great because then you get used to the plant palette and you kind of know what the clients are looking for, and you can always chat to them as well because some of them do have a few like intricate thoughts and opinions about certain things. But yeah, it means there's consistency, which is
Yeah.
great.
I
Yeah.
suppose there might be some where your architect's telling you they want it one way and the client's saying that they want it a different way.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, we have taken on a few other projects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is it the just the horticulture side that's heading down that eco-friendly path, or is it the company-wide thing?
I think the designers, like we had a meeting with them and they're thinking, oh, well, we need more flowers for like pollination and things like that to, increase biodiversity. Not too sure about the construction side, but I'm assuming because, the CEO and everything is in that headspace. So I think it's broad. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And is there any is there any part of the job where you're maintaining any permaculture gardens or anything like that?
Not quite. Like you will get a herb garden here and there, like lots of rosemary. But that's okay because, I'm learning, and Emmy, she's very into permaculture, and I did my interview with her, and there's kind of a widespread permaculture focus. So we all kind of have the values and principles, although we're not working on permaculture gardens, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yep, definitely.
Yeah, yeah. So
'Cause
like-minded.
when I had Christian Douglas on, he because he's the food forward guide, I think his book is called. So he's about
Okay.
putting edibles into a design wherever, not having it in its own section where it's messy like the normal permaculture kind of look.
Yeah.
And I think he was talking about whether I don't know whether he had people like he's from California, but whether he had people who they maintain like vegetable gardens and permaculture gardens, like that's their thing. Because I think
Yeah,
it's a good
cool.
opportunity for businesses to do because people want these big, nice looking veggie gardens, but there is a bit of maintenance involved in them and like crop rotation and everything that's involved. So
Yeah.
I think it's good if there's someone who like that can go around and that's kind of their specialty. I reckon it'd be a
Yeah.
good sort of niche for a business to have as part of what they offer in that side of things.
Definitely. And it's gonna take a while before, permaculture has more jobs and like because at the moment it's all pretty much volunteering. So,
Yeah,
but it will get there, and someone will be the pioneer of, earning money in permaculture. But
yeah,
yeah, it'll just be a while away. And it's
it,
still got that like hippie kind
yeah,
of attachment to it. So
yeah.
yeah.
It's definitely growing in popularity though. Like there's definitely getting a lot more mainstream, I reckon.
Yeah, there's a few criticisms of it, but it's all about the balance and not being one extreme or the other. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
That's like most things. Like it's you can have great ethics and a good your heart in the right place, but not everything has to be 100% hardcore leaning one way.
Yeah.
So you can, it's okay to, you know, not plant edibles every now and then. But
Yeah,
if that's
exactly.
the thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So with where you're working now, have you got like a career progression that you can work towards because it's such a big company?
Yeah, so I'll just kind of shoot for team leader maybe in the next year or so. Because I still like learning from my team leader currently. But beyond that, I'm not too sure. Like I would like to get into parks and gardens maintenance. Like sorry, management, so that's kind of a little bit different. But yeah, I'll stay with the company for a while because they're great. I'm very happy. Yeah, the properties are stunning. We'll
Yeah,
see.
and I reckon a company that size, like if you said that you're wanting to branch out and do sort of more parks and gardens, when you've been there for a while, and if you're like a good employee, then they sort of can. That's when they can grow the business and make that part of their offering as well.
That's true. And they're also trying to broaden their client base to people who like have less money to spend on their gardens because at the moment it's very like high-end
Yeah.
clients. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see kind of as it progresses. And I think it will be fairly rapid how it goes. Yeah.
And you said you're working at a nursery at the moment. You just started there as well.
Yeah, Princess Fancy Plants.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it is kind of like someone's backyard, but it's really well maintained. It looks great, and everyone's eyes just sparkle when they walk in. So
Yeah.
I'm really happy there.
Well,
Yeah,
how can you not be with a name like that?
exactly. But yeah, I've probably worked 4 shifts,
Yep.
which isn't that much, but I've done a little bit of potting up and a lot of talking to customers, which is great. That's how you learn the most, I think.
Yeah, I worked in a nursery before I started landscaping as well, and I learned a lot. Like, and I can still remember like that was 20 something years ago now, and I can still remember plants that I was asked about, and yeah, maintenance I was doing. Like, I learned how to prune a rose there because there's all these roses you got to cut them back. Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
what sort of plants they got there? Is it like a just a your normal average nursery?
No, it is not. I'm gonna talk it up a little bit. It kind of has a lot of what like Bunnings doesn't have because Bev, who runs it, she's very enthusiastic and she goes and finds the unusual plants.
Yeah,
And
awesome.
it has such a range of grevilleas, a lot of native species, so many camellias. One of the ladies kind of specializes in that. So it is really cool. I love it. Yeah.
Fancy.
Yes. Fancy. Hmm.
And I saw on your Instagram page you had the global footprints. What's it called? I get the right name.
Yeah, the BBM.
You had the global footprint scholarships tagged on there. Have you got one of them? Have you?
Yes, I went to the awards night on Monday for that. So yeah,
Oh,
I'm
so
really
has that
looking
only just
forward to it.
happened?
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
Because yeah, I'm kind of following in Tyler and Ash's footsteps a little bit. And
Yep. So how does that work? Did you get nominated to be part of that?
no, but you do have to send in a reference. You just kind of go on the website and fill out the application. And I wrote probably too much for it, but it got me over the line, so
Yeah.
I'm happy with that.
Well, you show you're passionate. That's what I
Yeah,
like.
yeah, exactly.
So did you know when you were going there to the awards night, did you know you were going to be winning it, or was it just a shock then?
Yeah, so it's kind of once the awards night happens, that's when everything can go public because you kind of keep it a secret for I think about a month or
Mm.
so. So, I try not to tell people.
And then what happens next? Like, are you heading off over to? Do you go to the same gardens, or do you choose where you want to go?
Yeah, yeah, I can choose. And I think how many of us? I think there was 10 of us in like for horticulture because they also do agriculture and other trades like
Oh,
electricians, as long as it's kind of sustainability focused.
yep.
And yeah, so I'm gonna go to Monet's garden for a month and a few gardens around the UK, like Great Dixter. Try and get placements as much as I can. Probably stay for about 4.5 months and really get what I can out of it, especially because it's such a long flight.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not a fan of long flights, so
Yes. Yeah,
as
it's
no one
not
is.
not ideal,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
at least there's a good reward at the end of it, though.
Oh yeah, exactly. And I can't even imagine the doors it will open. Like it will just be fantastic.
Yeah, and like if you're following someone like Ash, he's the perfect example of what you can do once you get that opportunity. Like
Yeah.
just the amount of doors he's opened just by going in that first one is just made an insane amount of contacts.
Yeah, and he's been helping me a lot. Like we're really good friends and we're always messaging. So, it's just like having support is just essential.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many things that are not what you know, but who you know. Like that's part of it. It's a big
Yeah.
part of it.
So yeah, learning to network was an interesting experience because, as an introvert, it's a bit tough to put yourself out there. But yeah, I'm getting better, I think.
Yeah. Well, believe it or not,
Yeah.
I'm exactly the same. I'm happy to go. Like I'll go to a function, and I'll be
Yeah.
just happy to stand there and not talk to anyone. So, well,
Yeah.
fine with me. So, but then, like, the more you do it, people will come up and talk to you. So then, the next time you know that person, so then you've got one person you know, and the more you go, the more people then you know. So,
Yeah, yeah. Gets
yeah,
easier. Yeah, yeah.
just become friends. Um, yeah, so that's how I started sort of getting my name out there is by just going to events where I really didn't want to go to, but I knew it was the right thing to do.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then, yeah, now I know a billion people, it feels like.
Yeah, yeah. And even just showing your face is
Yeah.
sometimes enough.
Exactly. Yep, and get
Yeah.
your name out there, and then just the more people see your name, the more then it sort of stays with them. Then they'll remember it years down the track that they've seen it for a while, and they don't know where they saw it, but they just know they've seen it. So yeah, it works.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So do you know when you're going to be heading away?
I'm thinking April because then I'll kind of catch their spring over there.
Yeah,
So it'll look the best, I think, at that time.
and you'll miss the cold Brisbane winter.
Yeah. I can't handle winter. It's even, yeah, I was in Sydney for the AGM at the with the AIH and it was chilly. Oh
What was
yeah.
it like 20 degrees or something cold?
I don't really remember, but my nose was running the whole time and it was an experience. I just gotta
Yeah,
toughen up. Yeah, that's fruit over concrete. Yeah.
exactly. So how did you get involved with the IIH? When did that happen?
Yeah, at the Botanical Bazaar 2 years ago, I was, obviously the shy little person, and I had just started my cert with ACS, John Mason, and I was with my parents, and they actually had the ACS AIH tent as well, and my parents kind of forced me to say hello, and then I got chatting to him, and that's when he mentioned the scholarship, he mentioned the AIH, and I met Alan Burnell, the president, the next year at the Botanical Bazaar, because I volunteered there the next year and also this year. So yeah, I kind of worked my way through there, and I'm on their monthly Zoom calls as like a AIH future voice. And you have like the National Council and everything too. So yeah, that's how I did it, and I want more people to join, more young people especially, and just send them an email or if anyone wants to reach out, then yeah, I'm on Instagram
Yeah,
as
cool.
well. Yeah.
And did Graham Ross present the award to you at the
No, there's he kind of separated from the global footprints
all right.
a short while ago. So I haven't actually met him yet. I've seen him around, but I haven't introduced myself yet.
Yep.
Yeah.
So was it Alan presenting that award?
Kira Platt Berens, I think I'm saying it right. So she was an old scholar and she did a little speech and then kind of handed each award out. So it was great. It was very inspiring to see that.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
And some of the other like, do you know any of the other scholarship winners?
Yeah, we conversed at that night, with a little bit of champagne too. So it was nice. There was a few that I didn't talk to, but in horticulture, everyone's very eccentric. So sometimes, it's very interesting the people you meet, and it's
Yep.
it's it's lovely to see like a bit of diversity and yeah. So
And you work pretty pumped about you getting that opportunity? Or that?
yeah, I think so. Like they support it, but obviously they'll kind of miss me being there.
Yeah. And you got to find someone for
Yes,
4.5 months to take your spot.
exactly. So it's a bit rough, but I'll come back full of like all this learning and inspiration and yeah, so I'll be a changed woman.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
do you talk much with the like the architects about the projects, like thinking of changes, things that work well and things that don't work well? Is there any feedback between the two?
Yeah, so we have had one meeting with them, and also there was a place like one of the projects that they came and we that Jorge and I had been servicing. Like we all got together and spoke about it and walked through the place. But we're doing more of that in the future. Obviously, it's hard to get everyone together when there's such big projects happening.
Mm.
So yeah, we'll talk to them more. Obviously, we can send emails and write a few things down, and we are going to present our ideas to them, like on a PowerPoint presentation in the short future. So yeah, it'll get there. We'll have more conversations and blending between the two, but it is pretty good at the moment, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
And do you have much to do with the construction side of things, or do you just see them in the mornings and that's it?
Yeah, I see them in the mornings in their forklifts and everything and have a good chat to them. But yeah, I don't have much to do with them, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what about, do you do any mowing as part of the maintenance?
Yes, all the lawns are quite small because it's just all these beautiful native trees and everything growing around them. So we prioritize, the trees and the shrubs
Yeah.
more so than the lawns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after doing the scholarship, and it's like looking ahead 5 years, can you see,
Oh,
like,
yes.
have you thought that far ahead, like knowing what you're going to do, or are you just wanting to do, like, have that goal towards working in a big parks and gardens kind of setting?
Yeah, there's a bit of a gap between now and like the 15-year mark where I want to do that. Kind of just going with the flow and just, developing my education a bit more and, learning more about turf and things like that, irrigation, just kind of get that broad knowledge.
Yep.
So, yeah, we'll see. But I'm writing a permaculture children's book at the moment.
All right.
Also, yeah, also illustrating. It's on the back burner, but I've done all the writing and a few drafts, so it'll get there, it'll get
Yeah,
there.
cool. So what's that going to
Yeah.
be doing? Like teaching them about how to do it, or and the reasons for doing it?
It's more of a story based on kind of my experience as a child in my nana's garden because she's from New Zealand. And I remember seeing like a beautiful like telephone box and she had like faces in the trees and kind of blending like the quirkiness of visiting a grandparent's garden plus permaculture. Like it doesn't list out all the principles and whatnot, but it kind of it does in a way that you wouldn't really know it.
Yeah.
Like it's more of a story. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it. Like making something fun, but you don't
Yeah.
realize that what you're doing is good as well. Like you're just doing it because you enjoy it, but it's also got these other benefits.
Yeah, like they don't realize they're learning. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And you're a decent drawer, I assume, or because if I illustrated a book, it would look
Yeah.
horrendous. So I assume you're good at it.
Yeah, I was actually gonna do visual arts at TAFE, and then I took like half a gap year and decided horticulture instead. So
But
luckily,
yeah, because
yeah.
horticulture pays bad enough, let alone doing art.
Yeah, it depends. It depends. I think art has more of that really top end range you can get. Horticulture's not
Yeah.
so much, but you'd have to be pretty good. Yeah.
So have you got like a goal of when you're going to get that book out?
I don't want to push myself too hard because, I am doing all these other things on the side. But I'm hoping at least by the end of next year. I like chipping away rather than just
Yeah.
going too fast. Yeah. So.
And have you looked into like how you'll release it? Like, is it do you know, ways of getting it out there?
Yeah, a little bit. Like I have a few avenues like for like marketing and advertising. I did reach out to I think it's Bill Mollison's publishing. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's Miliodora Publishing. And they're not really open to projects at the moment. But yeah, kind of like a eco-conscious publishing company I'll try and go with.
Yeah.
And yeah, get the word out that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, because I remember listening to Emma from Sage. She was talking, and speaking of Kiwis, she was because she's put out just recently put out a magazine, a book, sorry, and she wanted to have it released in Australia as well, but didn't want to be sort of having it printed in New Zealand and shipping it over for that
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
that eco side of things as well. So yeah, and I think she was also looking for people who were kind of sustainable and yeah, like that too. So it's good if you can start thinking that in a broader range of things and not just in your own workplace.
Yeah, maybe I can reach out to her and see how she's done it
Yeah.
and that process.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
there's some companies who are just interested in pumping out massive numbers, but then there's other ones who are more boutique as well.
Yeah, yeah, I think I'd prefer that. And you get a better experience, I think, that
Yeah.
way. Yeah.
Yep. And with the Japanese tool that you're using, are they all a certain brand? Is Nawaki one of them?
I can't remember the brands. Oh, hang on. I think Shogun Tools actually.
Yep, that sounds familiar.
Which is top notch. I really love them. And the sounds are so
Yeah.
satisfying and just yeah, it's really a pleasure to work with, essentially.
And do you
Yeah.
like sharpen them often?
Yeah, a little bit, but it's mostly I just try and not to trim very thick branches.
Yep.
So it's kind of like IPM but tool management.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything about IPM in your book? Teaching the kids about that?
Mm, it has a little bit about like bugs and not to treat them all as pests.
Yep.
But it doesn't go into too much detail because it will be like quite a young audience.
Yep.
So it's kind of like just enough to get them like interested and curious and like ask questions to their parents. Yeah.
I reckon you might have some parents who are interested in reading it as well.
I hope so. Yeah.
Because it's one of
Make it
those things
fun
like
enough.
people like there's it's like those books, permaculture for dummies. Like people want things simple so they can understand it. They don't want it to be really complex.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And I've always wanted to like inspire and educate people, but I couldn't stand in front of a class of 30 and just, explain to them that way.
Yep.
But yeah, through a book it's a bit different. It's more personal when they're talking to their parents about it too.
Yeah, and you can reach more people doing it that way as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And last question for you, Amy, is who do you think would be a good guest to have on the podcast?
Yeah, I wrote a few down.
Awesome.
So, so Kira Platt Dayrens, who I mentioned earlier, she won the scholarship, and I'm not sure if you've heard of her before.
No.
No, but yeah, she's been to Europe and all that, and she's into permaculture and like the therapeutic side as well. So I think she would be very interesting to talk to. She's very lovely as well, and also John Mason, who's the principal of the ACS. And he's writing he's written the report for kind of making changes to education in the horticulture industry and even extending to other industries. And so it's pretty successful so far. Like it's gaining momentum, and I think it would be great for him to chat with
Yeah,
about
well,
that.
that's a pretty like a lot of people want think that that needs to get done. So it's good that he's actually not just saying it needs to get done, but it sounds like he's actually doing it.
Yeah, and it's doing really well, and I think the more that people know about it, the more people can support that. And yeah, I think it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, sound like a good couple of suggestions, and I'll also get your mate Tyler on as well.
Yes, perfect.
I'll send
And
him a
he
message.
he just won horticulturalist of the year,
I think
so
I did see that. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
and
good
that
on
that made
him.
me think I need to get him back on because I've been meaning to do it since I got Ash on. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I will message him straight away as soon as I hang up here.
Perfect. Awesome.
But yeah, thank you so much for coming on. When I put out a request for people to recommend people I should get on, there was two different people who recommended you. So yeah, it was great to hear what you're doing, and also I like having people on who are sort of young in the industry, so then you can follow along with how they go. So looking
Yeah.
forward to doing that. So thank you very much, and good luck when you head over to Europe.
Thank you so much, Joel. It's been a great experience being on this podcast and chatting with you. Thank you so much.